Why do certain people always seem to come out on top, dominating in different areas, while others just never catch a break? We often assume life is a pure meritocracy, where genetics and hard work are the only variables that matter. Professional sports appear to be the ultimate test of this theory. Success on the field should come down to pure effort and physical training. A look at professional athletes' birth months reveals a lopsided distribution. Elite players are overwhelmingly born in January, with numbers dropping steadily toward December. This downward trend repeats across nearly every sport and country. Changing the cutoff date simply shifts the statistical advantage. These statistics suggest that success depends on hidden systemic mechanics. Hard work is only part of the story. This pattern begins in youth sports and education, where children are grouped together using arbitrary calendar year cutoffs. In a class of children born in the same year, a child born in January is nearly a full year older than a classmate born in December. At 8 years old, an 11-month gap results in a significant developmental lead. The older child is physically larger and more cognitively developed. This structural advantage is known as the relative age effect. It grants the oldest children in a cohort a head start based entirely on their birth month. Coaches and teachers mistake this developmental head start for innate talent, creating a cycle of early success for the oldest kids. It is easy to assume that late bloomers eventually catch up to their older peers, but the advantages of a head start often compound. The child who is slightly better at age 8 gets more playtime and better coaching. By adulthood, those extra hours of elite training have created a genuine skill gap that the younger peers can rarely bridge. This logic extends into the workforce. A person whose parents help with a down payment or pay off student loans has immediate capital to invest. While others spend their paychecks on debt, the person with an early advantage is already building equity. This compounding process is called the Matthew effect. It describes the sociological trend where those with an initial advantage gain more, while those without it fall further behind. Many life outcomes are dictated by external variables, like birth dates and parental wealth, that remain entirely outside our control. Systemic inequality is a reality, but biology suggests a way to build momentum even when starting at a disadvantage. Researchers demonstrated this through the tube test. 2 mice with equal strength are placed in a narrow tube until one pushes the other out. The experiment found that the mouse that wins the first encounter is statistically much more likely to win its next match, even against a completely new opponent. Winning changes the subject's brain chemistry. The victory increases testosterone and confidence, which physically prepares the body for future successes. This creates a self-fulfilling loop known as the winner effect. Momentum represents a measurable biological state that directly influences the probability of future achievement. The winner effect hinges on perception. Your brain reacts to what you categorize as a win, meaning that viewing an event as a victory can trigger the same chemical shift as a major objective achievement. Consider an attempt to talk to a stranger that ends in rejection. If you frame that event as a win for your courage, rather than a failure for the result, your brain processes the experience as a victory. Lowering the threshold for what counts as a win, like simply getting out of bed on a difficult day, activates the biological feedback loop of success. Acknowledging these daily small wins halts the downward spiral of self-doubt and starts the process of building upward momentum. You cannot change your birth date or the systems you were born into, but you can choose how you interpret your daily efforts. By manufacturing small daily wins and reframing your progress, you can leverage your own biology to override systemic traps and write your own story.